Apple, manufacturer of the expensive iPhone, has made a big announcement. The tech giant has said that it will open its first brick-and-mortar retail store in India in 2021. Apple is famous for its experiential retail stores across the world, and Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, has his eyes set firmly on the Indian market now. Our next report tells you more.
Something that's this thick and weighs 1.3 pounds.
In 2001, former Apple CEO Steve Jobs changed the landscape of smartphone retail.
Wood barricade we built in front of our first retail store that's going to open in 6 days.
He launched the first retail store to showcase Apple's technologies in a small mall in suburban America.
Home, music, kids, genius on this side.
This Apple retail store wasn't a simple brick-and-mortar establishment. It was an experience zone where users could learn how to use Apple's gadgets, which are priced significantly higher than the competition.
Just pick these up and see what it's really like to have wireless connection to the internet.
And today Apple has more than 500 retail stores worldwide. But gone are the colorful carpets and the curved tables. Almost 19 years later, the Apple stores have a more modern aesthetic. But one factor which hasn't changed is the long queue of Apple loyalists spotted outside each store before an iPhone launch. And now, India is Apple's next destination for its retail stores. For almost a decade, Apple has solely relied on third-party merchants to sell its pricey offerings. The iPhone, the iPad and the Apple Watch being immensely popular. Apple CEO Tim Cook told investors that the company will set up its flagship brick-and-mortar store in India next year. Cook made the announcement at a shareholder meeting this week, adding that Apple will also open its first online store in India. This announcement is well-timed. India is the world's second-largest smartphone market, with China being number one. Apple's Tim Cook has acknowledged the growth opportunity for Apple within India. It is important to note that while India's smartphone consumption is high, a majority of people cannot afford Apple's products. The cheapest iPhone among the new iPhone range, for instance, is priced high at around 65,000 rupees or more than $900. Another challenge for Apple is the heavy import duty that New Delhi levies on electronic goods. This makes iPhones in India even more expensive, as Apple passes on the added costs to its buyers. Apple adopted a new strategy thereon. It started assembling some of its smartphones in India. Apple's contractors Foxconn and Wistron assemble its products in India, which has lowered prices of some of its models. This move has worked for Apple. Research firm Canalys estimated that Apple shipped close to 925,000 iPhones to India by late 2019. This was Apple's best year in India to date. Tech analysts also believe that Apple has now become more aggressive with prices to compete in a market dominated by Android phones. So yes, Apple's famous experiential store will be coming to India in 2021. The exact location of the Apple store in India is yet to be announced. So will Indians queue up in 2021 to buy Apple's next flagship iPhones at Apple's new flagship store? Bureau Report, WION World is One.